Here to discuss that summit is Rajan Menon. He is the director of the Grand Strategy Program at Defense Priorities and joins us live from New York. Welcome back to The Rundown. Thank you for taking the time again tonight.
Thank you, Andrew.
So during this summit in Uzbekistan, Putin didn't receive widespread support for his invasion of Ukraine from China and India. What does that tell us about where Russia's allies stand?
Well, he clearly was expecting the two giants of Asia, China and India, as you mentioned, to give him some support. President Xi, who has a party Congress coming up soon where he'll be reelected for another term, clearly does not want to go near what he feels is a protracted and unsuccessful war. Mr. Modi, India's prime minister, did one better. He said to Mr. Putin, "I've spoken to you on the telephone before about this. Food prices are going up, energy prices are going up. This is not, quote, the era for war." It didn't amount to a public scolding, but it came awfully close, Andrew.
So what does that mean as Putin vows to just continue on?
Well, it means that increasingly Russia is finding it difficult to get support, even from the quarters where it has traditionally looked for support. But I don't think it means that the war will end or this lack of support, even today from China and India, will make him wind down the war. He is now in a position where he's staked his reputation on the war. He's got to go home with something that he can brandish as a prize. And to say that the Ukrainians are at fault for negotiating completely misses the point that he's occupying 20% of their country. So the deal he wants is that he gets to keep that territory. And there's a peace settlement. And I've just come back from Ukraine, and I have not met a single person in Ukraine who believes that's an acceptable basis for a peace agreement.
So what does that mean in terms of what Putin will do, what Russian forces will do in the coming weeks and months?
I see the following possibilities. One is to scale back the objectives of the war. So today, for the first time, he said the principal objective is to take the Donbass, that is the eastern part of Ukraine, the provinces of Lugansk and Donetsk. So he could say, well, that's the objective now. The second is that he could escalate the war and begin a much more aggressive attack on Ukrainian civilian infrastructure. Yesterday, for example, he struck a dam in the hometown of Prime Minister Zelensky. The town is called Kryvyi Rih. I was there not long ago. And the objective would be to try to make it unbearable for Ukraine to wage the war. The third possibility is that he could call for a draft, which he's been unwilling to do, and put more soldiers on the front and try to steamroll the Ukrainian forces. I don't know which one of these he'll do. These are hypothetical possibilities, but those are the ones as I see them.
Let's talk about inside Russia, because there are some local councillors within Russia that are calling for Putin to step down. What does that tell us about how Russians are feeling about this war?
Yeah, interesting, Andrew. So Russian nationalists who favor the war and generally are pro-Putin have now, some of them, begun to attack the war. Not President Putin himself, but the defense minister, Sergei Shoigu, who may not be long for this world professionally. Putin may well remove him. I don't know that he will, but he might. But on top of that, as you alluded to, town councillors have, on two occasions, sent a petition. The first time, it was a petition to the State Duma, D-U-M-A, the parliament, national parliament, saying that Putin should be prosecuted for treason for mismanaging the war, leading to a doubling of NATO's frontier with Russia, for allowing Ukraine to get massive amounts of Western weaponry. About a week after that, a petition signed by 84 councillors from across Russia called for Putin's resignation. Now, does this mean there's a groundswell of public opinion that will force Putin to end the war? No, but I think these are still notable developments.
Appreciate you taking the time again. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
Rajan Menon is the director of the Grand Strategy Program at Defense Priorities, joining us from New York.